Hello class, welcome to our lesson. Today we are going to teach you Unit 8 Relative Classes. Compare this conversation and newspaper report. Laura: Art Golden has died. Trevor: Who? Laura: You know the film star who played the ship's captain in Iceberg? Trevor: I don't think I've seen that. Laura: Yes, you have. It's the film we saw on the TV the other night. There are two kinds of relative clauses: defining relative clauses and non-defining relative clauses. Англи хэлний хавсарсан нийлмэл өгүүлбэр. Хавсарсан нийлмэл өгүүлбэр гэж нэг болон түүнээс дээш гишүүн өгүүлбэрийг гол өгүүлбэртэй захируулах холбоосоор холбосон өгүүлбэрийг хавсарсан нийлмэл өгүүлбэр гэнэ. Англи хэлний хавсарсан нийлмэл өгүүлбэрийн гол өгүүлбэрийг main clause, харин гишүүн өгүүлбэрийг subordinate clause гэнэ. Гол өгүүлбэр нь утга төгс хийгээд холбоосгүй байна. Туслах буюу гишүүн өгүүлбэр нь утга төгс биш хийгээд холбоостой байна. Тэгэхээр гишүүн өгүүлбэр гэдэг нь холбоос үг юм уу, холбоос хэллэг, conjunction хаана байрлаж байна вэ? Эндээс хэлсэн өгүүлбэрийг хэлэх нь байна. Хавсарсан нийлмэл өгүүлбэрийн гишүүн өгүүлбэр. Хавсарсан нийлмэл өгүүлбэрийн гишүүн өгүүлбэр нь ямар нэг шинжээрээ гол өгүүлбэртэй туслах буюу аль нэг гишүүнийг орлох үүрэг гүйцэтгэх бөгөөд гишүүн өгүүлбэрийн гүйцэтгэж байгаа үргээр нь дотор нь ерөнхийдөө 5 төрөлд ангилна. Одоо бид дээрх 5 төрлөөс тодтгол гишүүн өгүүлбэртэй хавсарсан нийлмэл өгүүлбэрийн тухай үзнэ. Тодтгол гэж юу вэ гэдгийг эхлээд санацгаая. Юуг тодтгох вэ гэвэл нэр үгийг буюу нэр үгээр илэрэгч хүн амьтан, эд зүйл, юмс үзэгдэл, санаа бодол зэргийн ямар нэг шинжийг тодтгон тодруулна гэсэн үг. Тодтгол гишүүн өгүүлбэр. Өгүүлбэрт нэр үгээр илэрдэг хоёр гишүүн байдгийн нэг нь өгүүлэгдэхүүн гишүүн ба энэ нь өгүүлбэрийн эхэнд байрлана. Жишээлбэл The boy who is standing over there is my friend. Энүүхэн энэ зогсож байгаа хүү бол миний найз. Ямар хүү чиний найз вэ гэсэн асуулт таарч байна. Тодтгол гишүүн өгүүлбэртэй хавсарсан нийлмэл өгүүлбэрийн холбоос нь who, which, that байхаас гадна where, when, whose plus нэр үг, whom, өмнөө үг, үг хэллэг юм уу, угтлагатай which болон who билээ. Who, which, and that. 1. Who холбоос хүнийг тодтоход хэрэглэгдэнэ. The lady who is playing tennis is my sister. Теннис тоглож байгаа тэрхүү эмэгтэй бол миний эгч. 2. Which холбоос хүн биш амьтан, эд юм, үзэгдлийг тодтоход хэрэглэгдэнэ. Ours is a province which is situated in the northwest of Mongolia. Уус бол Монгол орны баруун хойд зүгт оршдог нэгэн аймаг билээ. The dog which is sleeping under the bed is really cute. Орон доор унтаж байгаа тэрхүү нохой үнэхээр хөөрдөн юм. Who, which, and that. 3. Who болон which холбоосыг хүнч бай, амьтан эд зүйлсч бай, that холбоосоор сэлгэн тодтогч болно. I know a lady that speaks 5 foreign languages fluently. Би 5 гадаад хэлээр чөлөөтэй ярьдаг нэг эмэгтэйг мэднэ. Ours is a province that is situated in the northwest of Mongolia. Defining relative clause. Тодтгол гишүүн өгүүлбэртэй хавсарсан нийлмэл өгүүлбэрийг англиар defining relative clause гэнэ. This is the teacher who has imaginative ideas. It is the house that I'd like to buy. I saw the girl who was outside our house. They lived in a small town which was far from UB. Non-defining relative clause. Тодтгол гишүүн өгүүлбэртэй хавсарсан нийлмэл өгүүлбэрийг тодтгол хэлц бүхий өгүүлбэр болгон сэлгэж болох ба энэ нь хэн гэж хэн болох, юу болохыг тодтгож тодруулах шинжтэй өгүүлбэр юм. The man fixing a car in the garage is one of the best workmen of our company. Graduate машин засч байгаа эрэгтэй хүн бол манай компани хамгийн сайн засварчны нэг юм. Ийм төрлийн өгүүлбэрийг non-defining relative clause буюу тодтогч биш гишүүн өгүүлбэртэй хавсарсан нийлмэл өгүүлбэр гэнэ. Энэ нь зөвхөн өмнөх нэр үг, төлөөний нэр үгийг тодорхойлно. Гэхдээ тэднийг онцлохгүй. Тэдний тухай зарим мэдээллийг нэмнэ. Хоёр талдаа таслалтай бичигдэнэ. Non-defining relative clause. My father, who is 65 now, still works. Энэ өгүүлбэрийн тасалтай өгүүлбэрийг орхисон тохиолдолд өгүүлбэр дөрмийн болон утгын хувьд зөв үлдэх бөгөөд хэний тухай ярьж байгааг мэднэ гэсэн. Зүгээр л өгүүлбэрт бага зэрэг мэдээлэл нэмж өгч байна. My father still works гэдэг дээр he is 65 now гэсэн мэдээлэл нэмж байна. His car, which cost nearly 20,000 pounds, is broken. His car is broken гэсэн өгүүлбэр дээр it cost nearly 20,000 pounds гэсэн мэдээлэл нэмж байна. The woman who lives the next door is a flight attendant. Gorillas, which are large and originate in Africa, can sometimes be found in zoo. Textbook. On page 116, exercise 14. 1. Non-defining relative clauses are used to give additional information which is not essential to the sentence. 2. Defining relative clauses are used to give crucial information without of it the sentence would have different meaning. 3. A non-defining clause is separated by commas at each end of the clause. 4. A defining clause is not separated by commas. Дээр хоёр төрлийн өгүүлбэрийг харьцуулж үзье. Type 1. The woman who lives next door is a doctor. Type 2. My brother Ben, who lives in Hong Kong, is an architect. Type 1. Grace works for a company that makes furniture. Type 2. Anna told me about her new job, which she is enjoying a lot. Type 1. We stayed at the hotel that you recommended. Type 2. We stayed at the Park Hotel, which a friend of ours recommended. Type 1. In these examples, the relative clauses tell you which person or thing the speaker means. The woman who lives next door tells us which woman. A company that makes furniture tells us what kind of company. The hotel that you recommended tells us which hotel. We don't use commas with these clauses. We know a lot of people who live in London. Type 2. In these examples, the relative clauses don't tell you which person or thing the speaker means. We already know which thing or person is meant. My brother Ben, Anna's new job, and the Park Hotel. The relative clauses in these sentences give us extra information about the person or thing. We use commas with these clauses. My brother Ben, who lives in Hong Kong, is an architect. Дээр хоёр төрлийн өгүүлбэрийг харьцуулж үзье. Type 1. The man who lives next door to Melanie is rather strange. Type 2. Jake, who lives next door Melanie, is rather strange. Type 1. The river which flows through Hereford is the Wye. Type 2. The Wye is beautiful. Type 1. The picture which was damaged is worth thousands of pounds. Type 2. This famous picture which was damaged during the war is worth thousands of pounds. Type 1. These clauses identify which thing the speaker is talking about. The class who lives next door to Melanie tells us which man. The class which flows through Hereford tells us which river. Without the relative clause, the sentence would be incomplete. The man is rather strange makes sense only if we know which man. A defining clause doesn't have commas around it. Type 2. These clauses add extra information about something which is already identified. The clause who lives next door to Melanie adds information about Jake, but we can say the sentence on its own without the relative clause. Jake is rather strange makes sense because the name Jake identifies who we are talking about. An add-in clause has commas around it. Instead of commas, we can use brackets or dashes. Бацдах дасгал хийцгээе бүгдээрээ. Activity 1, textbook on page 116. Exercise 15. Write down the sentences and write defining or non-defining. Could you please look at the sentences very carefully? So it's time to see the answers. 1. Defining clause. Because the sentence has no commas. 2. Also the same as 1. Defining clause. 3. Defining clause. 4. Non-defining clause. Because the sentence has commas. 5. Non-defining. 6. Non-defining. 7. Non-defining. 8. Non-defining. 9. Defining. 10. Defining. Okay, I hope you have already done the exercise very well. Activity 2, textbook page 117, exercise number 16. Use which or who to complete. For example, a soldier is someone blank serves in the army. A soldier is someone who serves in the army. I'll give you some minutes. Think for a while and do the exercise. So it's time to see the answers one by one. 1. A student is a person who goes to school. 2. An ostrich is a bird which cannot fly. 3. A cook is someone who makes meals in a restaurant. 4. A tire is a thing which you can find on a wheel. 5. It is the book which I've just read. 6. She is the girl who sat next to me in the bus. 7. They are the people who helped me. 8. This is the dog which scared me. Activity 3. Make one sentence from 2. Use the sentence in brackets to make a relative clause. You will need to use whom, whose, which, or where. Could you please see the first and second sentences? Okay, now let's see the answers. 3. We often go to visit our friends in Cambridge, which is not far from London. 4. I went to see who told me I needed to change my diet. Look at these sentences very carefully. 5. Stephen, whom I've known for a very long time, is one of my closest friends. 6. Lisa, whose job involves a lot of traveling, is away from home a lot. 7. The new stadium, which can hold 90,000 people, will be finished next month. 8. Alaska, where my brother lives, is the largest state in the USA. 9. Our teacher, whose name I've forgotten, was very kind. Activity 4. Read the information and complete each sentence. Use a relative clause of type 1 or type 2. Use commas where necessary. Three. The strike at the factory, which began 10 days ago, is now over. 4. I found the book I was looking for this morning. 5. My car, which I've had for 15 years, has never broken down. 6. Few of the people who applied for the job had the necessary qualifications. 7. Amy showed me a picture of her son, who is a police officer. For homework, from textbook on page number 122. Could you please do the exercise number 4? Look at these answers for homework and correct your mistakes.
Good luck. Bye-bye.